Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the short-term bullish and short-term bearish case for Bitcoin. Both are, however, part of an overall bullish scenario. And it's always a question of time frame that we're looking at. I mean, Bitcoin can break through a lot of micro or small support areas and still be overall bullish. So it's always a question of time frame. Here we're taking a look at the 1 hour time frame. And here there's one very important line in the sand that I've been mentioning for probably the last couple of weeks or so, that we are watching and which needs to hold to keep the overall direct uptrend going. If that level breaks, and that's at 47k, then we have to expect further downside, possibly even an acceleration of the downtrend, because this is the level where the market sentiment changes. Yeah, the value of the analysis is not really to tell you if it's going up or down. The value of the analysis is actually to tell you where the market mood, the market sentiment, the actual market is changing the behavior, because everything in the market depends on market mood, right? All the buying and selling is simply a result of fear and greed. You know, the most simple forms of the emotions that you can find in the market. It's all about fear and greed, you know. All the emotions of traders, they lead to supply and demand. They lead to buying and selling, you know. Sometimes I read comments and people say, oh, just use, you know, supply and demand, whatever. Well, see, that all comes from market mood, sentiment. So I even look at the root cause of that, okay? And that's what the Fibonacci levels are. They are the mathematical representation on the chart of market sentiment. We know by using Elliott Wave, we get a great understanding of context. We know when the market sentiment is likely changing, okay? So what we have here is that 47k level. If that level breaks, we are likely going to see the price get back into the yellow support zone. And there we already are at the short-term bearish scenario, yeah? That's what the short-term bearish case is. The market would break below 47k, and that would most likely lead here to a reset of the wave 4 that presumably finished on the 23rd of January. Okay, so it would mean that the move that developed since the 11th of January was just a larger A, B, C flat structure, possibly a running flat in which the C wave will end above A. So we might never see those prices again. I shouldn't say never, but not in this wave 4. But, you know, we can then, when that happens, talk about the implications of that. But for now, we are holding above support, so I am not worrying about support breaking or anything. My idea is that in the white count, and that's the preferred scenario, that's the short-term bullish case, we are going to see the price move up further. That's my leaning. I will change my opinion below 47k. Again, that's the value of the analysis to tell me in a very objective way when I have to change my perspective. Yeah. So I never try to impose my view on the market. I'm not trying to tell you, oh, it's going up or down. I'm telling you I'm bullish as long as 47k is holding, and the analysis tells me I can be, but the analysis also forces me into a more bearish perspective, at least short term, when that level breaks. But that doesn't mean it's overall bearish, no, just in the short term, okay? And then I have to think about what does that mean for my portfolio, but that's a completely different question. That's very personal and individual to everybody and their own portfolios. But in the preferred scenario at the moment, as long as we're holding above support, we're dealing here with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure, and I'd like to see wave 3 finish first. So I think we should get one more high in wave 3, then get a 4 and a 5. Okay, and that's the short term. And then if we take a look at the very short term, here, however, not much happened, even though we're looking at the very short term, but really not much happened. We talked about this potential descending triangle in the previous update. Let me shift the trend line just a little bit. I don't like to use trend lines so much. They're very subjective. It's like cooking with a dull knife or something. You know, it's not the best tool necessarily, because what could happen, for example, we have a break of the trend line, even if it breaks to the downside, or that support line there. Yeah, you see that horizontal support line. What does it tell me? It doesn't really it won't really, I mean, it means that we possibly go down into the support area between 50 and 47K, but that's really where the important things happen, not really up there. Because even if we go to 50K, 48.3, it doesn't change the scenario, okay? So the scenario will only change below 47K, whereas a break above the descending trend line could simply extend the sideways movement. It really takes a break above that B wave top at 52,860 to suggest we're going up more directly. So again, trend is up. I'm focusing on upside. I'm very open to the idea that it goes up more directly. That can of course happen. When would that be confirmed? Well, with a break above that 1.786 extension at 52,860. Until that happens, I'm leaning towards another low here in wave C. I'd like these support areas to be tested. And ideally, it's the area around 48.3K, the 38.2 retracement, because in a fourth wave, we usually see the price test that 38.2 retracement level. That's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.